Welcome, everybody. We are back. The NextManUp Sportscast crew is here with you this week in a timely fashion. Today. As we are recording right now, we got some baseball going on, some hockey, some basketball. But let me bring to you some of the news, some of the most popular news that was on since we last talked. Last time we spoke, we did talk about the series between the Dodgers and the Padres, right? We talked about the original series between the Dodgers and the Padres. Thriller. Dodgers took 2 out of 3. Good series, right? Good series. Padres salvaged that last one and perhaps rode the momentum to defeat the Dodgers in a 4-game set while the Dodgers were at home. Padres took 3 out of the 4 there. Still a very exciting series. I think one game went to extras. Padres ended up winning that one to take the series. And people may not have noticed, but the Dodgers are now tied in the NL West with the San Francisco Giants. So
True.
That was the first news cycle that I wanted to talk about. Man, do you have any opinions on that?
Nah, I mean, it's cool. You know, the Dodgers are a good team. Dodgers
They are.
series. Hey, it happens. But you know what? We could sit back, chill, relax. Because that being said, we're still in first place.
Yeah.
Still in first place, baby. We still know we're good. We don't have our big bat in Bellinger. We're going through a little bit of injuries, here and there, but we're okay. We lost about 5 of the last 8. Look at me. Look at his face. Does this look like a face that's worried? No.
Looks like a face of a chode.
You're true.
No, but I mean, needless to say, the Dodgers they got a lot of talent on that team. But I mean, the reason they've lost so many games in recent,
they're not hitting.
The bats have gone completely cold, struggling to score runs. I remember when they a week back they played Seattle and they won a 1-0 game barely off a Corey Seager double. So it's one of those things that the Dodgers bats have just gone extremely cold, and they need to pick that up a little bit more.
I agree.
The second news cycle.
Before we get to the second news cycle, man, hey, shout out to the Padres. They did their
big shout out to Tatis. He was and you know what? The most booed player. Yeah, that was savage. That was savage. But the most booed player of the weekend wasn't even Tatis.
No, Machado.
Wasn't Grisham. It was Machado by far.
And
he shined. He played so well at the hot corner. Made a lot of good defensive plays. He stole some bags. He had a bunch of base hits. Looking pretty good, and I think he plays a little bit harder when he plays the Dodgers. It's just what it seems like.
Well, I'm glad because he didn't play hard when he was with us, so whatever.
I mean, the thing that's crazy to me is that if Machado would have stayed with the Dodgers, he would have been so loved. Like fans would have adored Manny Machado. I don't know where he would have fit in with them, but they would have adored him. So
he would have played third base. He would have played third base. JT would have moved to second, or he would have been on hit the road, Jack. But also, if we keep Machado.
Probably don't get Mookie Betts.
Don't get Mookie Betts.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know what? Good choice.
Yeah, I mean, they got a ring out of it, so hey, can't say it's a bad choice. Second thing dominating the news cycle was Jacob deGrom. 14 strikeouts against the Rockies and 9 straight.
I've said it so many times. I don't know if I said it on the show, but I said it to so many people when I talk baseball. I said on the show, I think I have.
Yeah,
Jacob DeGrom is my favorite pitcher in the major leagues. He's by far the
hot take
pitcher in the major leagues. Hands down.
Hot take. Super hot take. Not everybody says that. Yeah, right. Everybody says that about DeGrom. But, it's kind of funny that last week on the show was like...
Hold on. Garrett Cole or DeGrom?
Who do I want on my team?
Yeah.
Jacob DeGrom.
Okay, good. Right, move on. Let's go. Yeah. Continue.
Like you said, he's the best pitcher in baseball. Well, what I'm saying is, last time I said that, he may not win the Cy Young, and then he goes out and does this, and the 2 guys that I said could win it both lose. So, and have really bad outings. So, I mean, DeGrom is capable of having a bad outing. It just doesn't look very likely at the pace that he's going. Plus, he's driving in runs. I think he had a single to drive in a run that game. So, he's tired of losing those 1-0 games.
He's looking like the NL MVP frontrunner.
Cy Young for sure.
If Clayton Kershaw, the pitcher, won the NL MVP, a few years back,
Why not DeGrom?
DeGrom.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Today, Mandy, we had Chelsea and Real Madrid played in the Champions League for the
Shout
first
out
round.
the American Pulisic.
And he made a goal. It was like the first American to make a goal in I don't know how long. But the score ended up 1-1. Okay, and it is significant, right? And let me tell you why. Okay, because in the Champions League in soccer, the way that they determine tiebreak, they can tie and the game can end, right? The way they do tiebreakers is your away goals. So today Real Madrid was the home team, Chelsea was the away team. So next game, if the game ends in a 0-0 draw, guess who advances? Chelsea, because they were the away team today. So really what they need is one goal tomorrow. Well, if they get one and Real Madrid gets one, then they're going to keep going. I think it goes into shootout. But where it sits now, all that Chelsea needs to do is protect, play defense like they've been doing all year long, and they could advance. Although Real Madrid was without one of their better players in Sergio Torres today, he's hoping to make a comeback next week. Not looking likely, but we shall see.
It took me a while to understand the whole aggregate scoring in soccer.
It is strange, but it's kind of cool.
Let me say, I love it.
Yeah.
I love the aggregate score in the first leg, second leg. I absolutely, it's like a 2-game series, but
Yep.
you could lose one series. You could win one and lose one series, but yet you still advance because of your goal differential. And I think that's a great way to.
It's pretty cool.
Well, actually, you know
Yeah.
what? No, maybe baseball is the most similar to have aggregate scoring that could be justifiable with soccer. Basketball won't really work, and football because it's scoring games. But I think like baseball and hockey could maybe even one day. Actually, they will never adopt it because there's too much money to be made in a 7-game series.
And hockey just instituted that 3v3 overtime and then the shootout. So a lot of people really like that 3v3 stuff. I actually really like it a lot. Another news cycle that was here, Mandy. The Wizards, your Washington Wizards, have won 10 of their last 11, putting them in the 10th seed. One game above the Bulls right now. Yeah, I mean, the Wizards have been playing some good basketball. They're playing like they want to get into that play-in game. And to be honest, you're sitting at, I think, the 9th seed to play the 10th seed. You're sitting right there, and you're a 9th seed, and you're going to go up against 2 all-stars, 2 superstars in Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. You're probably shitting bricks a little bit there.
Oh, no. Not just the 9th seed. It's going to be the 1 or 2 seed whoever has to play the Wizards in the first round. I mean, I don't want to do that.
Nope.
So, hey.
And they've actually beat Brooklyn twice this year, and Brooklyn's the number 1 seed right now. So, hey, you never know when you got Brody and Bradley Beal on the other side. So we'll see what happens there. Last thing, Mandy, here that's been dominating my news cycles. I've been looking forward to the NFL draft. I've been doing a lot of research on some of these draft prospects later in the rounds, 2-3 rounds. I usually go about 3 rounds, and then I'm like, all right, I'm kind of tired, you know what I mean? But I'm 49ers, you know, they recently traded for that 3rd pick in the draft. A lot of speculation. People think that number 1, obviously, is going to be Trevor Lawrence. Number 2 is looking like Zach Wilson, the guy who I told you is probably the 2nd best quarterback, and he's looking like he's going to be taken there. Number 3, the 49ers, there's been a lot of speculation on who they're going to pick. Trey Lance, Justin Fields. The number 1, Vegas just switched the odds, okay? Before it was Justin Fields. Right now at a -300, which means it's probably going to happen.
Trey Lance?
Mac Jones out of Alabama.
Oh, my God.
The dark horse, Mac Jones, has now become the favorite to.
I think I saw a Bleacher
spot.
Report, or was it a Bleacher Report meme or some other sports page meme that said some kind of, they gave a name to this new award, and they said, that guy, what's his name from Alabama, Mac what?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is going to win this award, and the award is basically the person who got picked the highest who shouldn't have got picked the highest. Yeah. So
yeah, definitely going to end up being him. I think you could make a case that a couple years ago was Cleveland Ferrell for the Raiders. So
shocker, Raiders.
They could have got it at
Hayward Bay.
Their later pick. I mean, it's literally every pick. But recently, the draft picks have been getting better. But yeah, it's looking like Mac Jones at 3. I mean, to me, he's kind of a little bit more athletic. Jimmy Garoppolo. If they can go to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, hey, why not throw Mac Jones in there and give him a shot? But the thing that's weird to me is if you're a contender, no rookie quarterback has ever won the Super Bowl. Why would you take a flyer on a rookie quarterback now? I don't know. Kind of baffles me with what the 49ers are doing.
Especially a rookie quarterback that played at Alabama, had some very, very good numbers.
A tremendous offensive line.
But his team in Alabama was head above everybody in the conference, everybody in college football. He had the best offensive line, the best receivers, the beast of a running back. I mean, he was put in a position to succeed at Alabama by far. Just don't lose the game. Give the ball to Devontae Smith. Give the ball to the running back, Najee.
Najee Harris.
And do your thing and sit back in his offensive line. In the NFL, there's parity. He's going to need to show that he's, better than, I don't know. I don't like the pick.
I agree. I think that the Alabama quarterbacks look amazing because they sit behind that amazing offensive line. And in the NFL, you're just not going to have 5-6 seconds to throw the football. You're going to have 2.5,
or have,
maybe
2-3 receivers that completely dominate defensive backs.
Yeah, it's not going to happen in the NFL. And I think that obviously you're going to be like, oh, SEC is the most NFL-ready conference, but nobody in the SEC was pushing that Alabama offensive line.
They were averaging 40 points a game.
Yeah, nobody in college football was testing them. Mac Jones seems like a really high pick here. To me, he just reminds me a lot of like the old Alabama quarterbacks, like who's that one dude? Who's that one guy? Number 2. He
oh my gosh,
Alabama.
That guy.
Yeah, he won the. I think he won the national championship with them. It's escaping me right now.
Yeah, I have his face. He looks just like now.
I remember during the national championship, they showed his girlfriend and everybody went crazy over his girlfriend. Thought she was hot or whatever. But anyway, I forget his name. It'll come to me. I think the Raiders ended up had him on the team for a little bit. But Mandy,
was AJ McCarron.
AJ McCarron, that's the guy I'm thinking of. So that's Mac Jones. Just reminds me of like a little bit better AJ McCarron maybe, and that's not worthy of a third round pick. But hey, 49ers, I would love to see what happens here, and we'll see where it goes. Anyway, Mandy, on the topic number 2, first topic I should say after the news cycle, I'm gonna give you the current number 1 team in each MLB division, and you're gonna tell me, do they end the season there? Or will another team be taking that throne from them? We're like, I don't know, a little bit over 10% of the season through, maybe. So definitely a lot of baseball.
No, we're more than 10%. We're more than 10% down, but
a little bit more than 10%, right?
Yeah.
So definitely not at a quarter of the way, nowhere close to that yet. So Mandy, in the AL East, it's not the Blue Jays, it's not the Yankees. It's a team that Mandy proclaimed sucked. The Boston Red Sox.
No, they're not going to hold it.
Okay, who's gonna take the throne there?
Devil Rays.
The Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay Rays. They're gonna go ahead and they're shocking me. They lost Blake Snell, but they got that farm system going. They know how to play baseball. And
Michael Wacha's there.
Yeah, Michael Wacha.
Your guy, Michael Wacha.
He came from the Mets last year.
Rich Hill.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the Rays. They're gonna go ahead and take that.
Yeah, you know what? I just haven't seen enough out of the Rays. And I want it, like, everything in me wants to go, like, Yankees. Yankees should win that division. They have the most talent. They have been not living up to it. My hardest thing with wanting to pick the Yankees is they haven't performed well against the Blue Jays, and they haven't performed well against the Rays. Recently, the bats are starting to come around. They're starting to play a lot better. I want to say the Blue Jays with every bone, every fiber of my being, but I can't. I'm gonna go with the Yankees. Are gonna right the ship. Pitching's gonna get better. We're missing 2 big arms in the bullpen that makes a huge difference. Our first baseman Luke Voigt, who led the league in home runs last year, hasn't played a game yet. So I think the Yankees right the ship here and eventually figure out how to beat the Rays and the Blue Jays like they have
wishful thinking
in recent history. And they're just better than the Red Sox. And they haven't played a series against the Red Sox yet, so we don't know yet, like, comparatively how good the Red Sox really are. So
now, with all being said, what place are the Yankees in right now in the AL East?
They are fighting for that. They're tied with Baltimore right now.
So they're last. Got it. Okay, continue.
And we just beat them, so I think that puts us ahead of them.
All right.
That being said, the ship's gonna turn around. Mark my words. If you want to live bet the Yankees to win the division now, it might be a good idea. Anyway, AL Central, we got the Kansas City Royals, former bottom of the barrel in that division. They are in first place right now. Do you see the Royals maintaining that position? No. They still have a couple guys that are coming back from injury. Alberto Mondesi's coming back, and a couple other dudes.
I think the Twins, with all that run they had last year and that experience they had with Nelson Cruz, and they lost Rich Hill and all that good stuff. But I think the Twins are going to right the ship. I think the Twins surpass them.
I think that the White Sox are actually going to win that division.
Okay.
They have a little bit better pitching to me. Lance Lynn did just go on the shelf, but he should come back this year, ready, healthy to pitch. He's
They got a
great
bunch
pitcher.
of young bats out there mixing with some veteran bats.
Exactly. Got the
Cuban
AL
connection.
The AL MVP. The AL MVP is there. And the guy actually who's leading the league in hitting right now, Mercedes. He's actually Yermin Mercedes. He plays for the White Sox. So I think the White Sox eventually take that division. Like I said, MLB's just kind of been on its head lately. AL West, the Oakland Athletics, who started off the season 0-7, are in first place right now. Do you still stand by your pick of the Angels winning that division?
No, I've said many times, my favorite team in the AL West is the Oakland A's. I just love the way they play, the underdog story. Right. I still stand by my pick. The Angels are going to right the ship. AL MVP Shohei Ohtani is going to take them to playoffs as the AL West champs.
Yeah, they may have the first and second place voting and the same team on that for the Angels. But I still, with their talent, they're going to get healthier. I think Verlander's coming back this year. I still think the Houston Astros are going to win that division. And they had a stretch where they played horrible baseball. They lost I think 8 consecutive games. But now they're starting to play better. You're seeing the pitching working out. You're seeing their bullpen doing well. Like I said, they're just missing one big arm, and I think Verlander's that guy when he comes back. So I think the Astros are still going to make a push to win that AL West, as they have dominated that division for a long time now. In the NL East, now we're going to the National League. This is where Mandy probably watches a little bit more of these teams. Your New York Mets are the first place team in the division. Do they maintain that posture?
Hell yeah, they maintain that posture, baby. New York Mets, they're finally living up to my expectations.
Yeah, they got a lot of good pitching.
Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard. They have that.
Tajon Walker
from the Seattle Mariners.
Marcus
Stroman, young arm. The Polar Bear. The
Lindor.
Huh?
Lindor.
The Mets.
Conforto.
The Mets, baby. All the way.
I like the Mets, I do, but I still think they're poised to be a strong wild card contender here. I think eventually, again, this is a team that has gotten off to a slow start. And
Don't
it's because
say the Braves.
It's the Atlanta Braves. I mean, they were literally one game away from making the World Series last year. Remember, the Dodgers, they were up 3-1 to the Dodgers, against the Dodgers. They should have closed that series out.
The Dodgers wanted to collect on that TV money, that's why.
They were one game, one play away from making the World Series, and that team is pretty much still intact. Lost a couple bullpen arms, but I think as soon as Max Fried can get it going, Ian Anderson has been lights out, has been amazing. I think that Braves team can still win that division, and it's a tough division to win. So whoever does win that division, hats off to that team. In the NL Central, Mandy, the Milwaukee Brewers actually are the number one team in that division currently. Do they maintain that number one spot, or do you think someone can dethrone them in that division? That's a tough division to fight in, too.
Tough division. It was the Cubs and the Cardinals. Yeah. I really
Reds.
The Reds, the big hitters. I really like the Cardinals. The whole baseball fan experience there and the leadership. But you know what? I'm going to stick with the Brewers.
Okay.
The Brewers are going to go ahead and just find a way to do it. Again, I think they have one of the best arms in the bullpen with the guy.
Josh Hader.
I know one bullpen arm, but I think the Brewers have the formula to go ahead and stay on top of that division. It's worked so far for the first 25 games, 20 games, whatever it is. Yeah. So I'll stick with the Brewers. I don't think the Cardinals or the Cubs have enough to go ahead and maybe they do, but I like the Brewers.
Okay, and Yelich has missed some time and they're still winning games, so that's positive. I just think they don't have enough pitching. I think the Cardinals are the team that is going to win the NL Central. They have a lot of pitching, a lot of bullpen arms. They just haven't put it together offensively, which is, I think it's been a common theme for a lot of the top teams in the league right now. And that's not excluding the Yankees, it's not excluding the Dodgers, but and then random teams have got out to really hot starts. The Reds are mashing the baseball right now, hitting a ton of home runs and a lot of base hits. Now you see it. Dodger fans saw it last night. With that extra inning bomb, by Winker. And that's all that guy does is he hits the baseball. So Reds are built for. I think the Reds were built for a team that if the National League would have had the DH, they would have been even better. But Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals here. I think the Brewers, are a contender for a wild card spot though for sure. And then in the NL West, you have the Los Angeles Dodgers tied with the San Francisco Giants currently.
Look,
That may
have
not
to
be their
hear?
biggest contender though. That may not be their biggest contender though.
Do you even have to hear my answer on this?
I mean, not really.
It's the best team in baseball is obviously going to win, not just the NL West, not just the NL pennant, but they're going back to back, baby. Drake's going to make a new diss record. Instead of saying the 96, 97 Bulls, he's going to say the 2021 Dodgers, baby, going back to back.
You have to think about that for a second.
A little bit, I'm not going to lie. Like, what year are we in? Yeah. True.
No, I mean, it's hard to say that the Dodgers won't win the NL West just because of all their pitching, all their bats, their bullpen arms. Tommy Kahnle should be coming off the 60-day IL at some point. But, with their bats being so cold, and you know what, Mandy? I mean,
you think the bats are going to stay cold for another 120
games? Obviously they're not. Obviously they're not, right? And but the thing is, you're going to get fat off of teams like the Diamondbacks and the Giants, right? I mean, not the Giants, the Rockies. You're going to get a lot of wins there. But, when you're going in contention with another great team in your division, you have to win those matchups to really secure, like you said, to secure your division. You got to stay on top. You have to win that matchup, and that matchup for them is the Padres.
They lost.
It's two series, right? It's 2 series, right?
Yeah, it's a one game.
One.
They're back by one game.
Lost one.
Yeah.
But it just, to me, it just has that feeling like, man, the Padres might be the Dodgers' kryptonite this year. It just kind of feels like that. They got Blake Snell over there who shut out the Dodgers in the playoffs. You got
and they got yanked.
Then he got yanked, for whatever reason. And just the pitching over there. Ryan Weathers pitched really well against them.
Yeah, he's a rookie, right?
Yeah, he's a youngster.
He looked really good, little lefty. He looked really good.
He looked awesome. Paddock, the Asian guy who used to pitch for the Dodgers. His name is escaping me.
Maeda. No, not Maeda.
No. I mean, he did too, but yes.
Yeah, Yu Darvish.
Yu Darvish, another guy who just was lights out against Kershaw. I mean, lights out. He looked amazing against them. So they have the formula to beat the Dodgers. They have the formula to beat a lot of teams. But my pick in the NL West is still the Dodgers. But by a hair. Like, I think both teams win 100 games. I think the Dodgers win a little bit more.
A woman's hair or my pubes hair?
That's like a small hair, mustache hair. Let's just go with that, mustache hair. So Mandy, that was our divisions there. Who we like to win those? Who's currently winning them? The news cycle, and now we're coming up on.
I gotta get my charger.
This guy.
Judith. Charger, bro. Yeah.
McPan.
I can't afford it. Just like, he has them. He's always had them. So anything I buy her would be just like, this is what I can afford, not what you can afford.
Yeah, extra quick.
No, where are you clicking on? There's that one back there or back there?
It might reach.
Honey, put it in the TV. Hold on, Vic.
For what?
For music. Hey. Music.
All right, let's go.
How did you say hi?
Close the door, Jade.
3. So we covered the winners, or who is currently leading the MLB divisions, and who we feel like will win. Covered our news cycle to keep everybody updated on the current standing in sports and the most popular things. And now it's time for the multi-sport parlay between Mandy and I. I got so close last week. So close. The freaking Boston Bruins lost to the Buffalo Sabres.
The worst team in the NHL.
Worst team in the NHL. But it was 5-1, right? Sabres were killing Boston. And then Boston scored 3 unanswered goals. And we're sitting in the fourth period 4-5. I'm hoping Boston can pull it out. And the Sabres knocking an empty net goal all the way from the other side of the court. or the rink. I
The
don't know
rink,
what
the ice.
hockey people call it. So that ended the parlay, but I was this close. This close. Mandy, I think you had 2 wins on the whole parlay, so try to do better, please. Try to do better. On this first, these games are going to be for Friday, everybody. So Friday, that would be the 30th of April. We have a couple MLB, we got a couple NBA, a couple NHL here. Number 1, Mandy, Rangers are taking on the Red Sox. The Red Sox have their ace, Nathan Eovaldi, going against Ari Hara, the foreign pitcher for the Rangers. Had a couple good outings and a couple bad outings. Who do you like in this one?
I think it's too early for the Red Sox to get cold, especially with their ace on the mound. So I'll go ahead and go the Red Sox. Red Sox money line.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with you here. It's gonna be tough though because I think it's gonna be a better game than people think because Eovaldi got beat up recently by the Mariners, who are a good hitting team, and the same thing goes for the Rangers. But I'll stick with the Red Sox here and Eovaldi. Next game has got the Orioles going against the Athletics. John Means going on the mound for the Orioles versus Jesus Luzardo for the A's. Who do you like in this one?
You know what? Whenever I bet on the A's, they always let me down. So I'm going to Orioles.
You going Orioles money line?
You know what? I'm going Orioles. They probably will be underdog.
+1.5.
Let's go +1.5.
Yep, I'm gonna go with that pick as well. I like the Orioles in this one. John Means has a sub-2 ERA, and he was lights out the last time against the A's, which was not that long ago. And they ended up Orioles won the last game of that series 8-1, and John Means held them to 1 run. He actually has a 0 earned run average, Mandy, after the 4th inning. That's really impressive. That is super impressive right there. In the NBA, we got your Washington Wizards taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, rounding out the season here, looking for potential playoff seedings with these games here. So who do you like, Mandy?
Wizards, baby. Wizards, baby. Wizards. And
An emphatic.
favorites, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wizards minus the points.
Wizards minus the points. I'm going to go Wizards money line. I think it's a close game, actually. Well, Cavs tend to score a lot of points. This might be a good over game, too. Last NBA game here, we got the Los Angeles Lakers with Anthony Davis back on the roster playing about 20 to 28 minutes per game against the Sacramento Kings. I believe they're without De'Aaron Fox currently right now. I think he may be back for this game. But who do you like in this one, Mandy? Do you like your hometown Los Angeles Lakers or the Sacramento Kings?
Obviously, the Lakers, my guy. You can't bet against your heart. You always got to bet with your heart. Always.
That's really bad advice. I like the unders in this game a lot because typically you get with the Kings, they don't play a lot of defense, so the unders the numbers get inflated for the overs. And the Lakers are the best defensive team in basketball, so I think the unders hit in this one. But I'll ride with Mandy on the Lakers here. Next 2 hockey games, Mandy, we got the Las Vegas Golden Knights going against the defensive specialists in the Phoenix Coyotes. Who do you like in this one?
Oh, you gotta go the Knights, baby. You gotta go the Las Vegas Knights. I'll take the Las Vegas Knights money line.
Oh, I'll take the Knights puck line, so I'll go -1.5 here. I think they destroy the Coyotes. Yes, puck line. Give me that puck line. Some hockey betting verbiage for you here. And last one here, we got the Colorado Avalanche against the San Jose Sharks. Now, the Avalanche have been a really dominant team in the NHL, right? They've been
And the Sharks are not doing too well, right?
They're in the lower half of the Western Conference, but the Sharks are a really competitive team. But I think this puck line will probably be 2.5. So it's really hard to go like Avalanche -2.5, but it's really easy to go Sharks +2.5. What do you like here, Mandy?
Avalanche money line.
I'm gonna stick with the Avalanche money line too. They're too good to bet on. They got 2 of the top 10 goal scorers in the league. That team is just ridiculous. If they don't win the cup this year, it's gonna be disappointing for a lot of people. I know that for sure. So that was our multi-sport parlay. Looks like Mandy and I are pretty much the same here, except for the Knights. I'm taking the Knights puck line. Mandy's taking the money line. But we got the Red Sox. Then we got the Orioles +1.5. Wizards money line. Lakers money line. No, actually, Wizards minus the points, Mandy said. Lakers money line. I'm going to take the Wizards money line. And then we got Knights money line. I'm going to take Knights puck line. And then Avalanche money line. You know what's a fun bet too for these NHL games is like there's a regulation and you get less. You know the odds are less, so like you can have them to win in the 3 periods instead of overtime, which is I'm gonna take that for the Knights. Actually, I'm gonna change the puck line to Knights in regulation in the 3 periods. So we'll go with that, and it'll make the juice a little bit better. Next, of course, Mandy, after the multi-sport parlay and the news cycle, and the topic is rapid fire sports trivia with Mandy and Chooch. And I got a good one for you here, Mandy. Okay?
Always, you always do, baby. Always. I do my research. I'm like, you know what do the people want to hear? And what do the people want to be informed about, right? Because not only that's what I love about trivia. It's not just like, see what you know. It's learn something, all right? So I got for you 5 guys here, okay? 5 guys. 5 guys.
5 guys in your Boca. I got 5 guys here for you that are playing for teams, but not the teams that drafted them in the MLB. You always hear about this. Guys get drafted, and then they're like, traded here, prospects here.
Oh, my God. What's the question? Hurry up.
Rule 5 picks here.
Oh, my God. Tell me, man.
So I'm gonna give
what team did they get drafted by, and what is their cup size? Oh, jeez.
We all know yours. Sunflower seed.
A sunflower seed.
Yeah. So, yes, Justin Turner. What team drafted Justin Turner originally?
The Mets.
The Mets, he says. Next one. Trevor Bauer, another Dodger. What team drafted Trevor Bauer?
Ooh. That's a good one. I know he played for 2 different teams. I'm going to say, man.
The drafting's tough.
I said the Pirates.
Pirates. Probably isn't it. Next one, from California. My guy, Giancarlo Stanton. What team drafted Giancarlo? Marlins. Derek Jeter's Marlins now. Next is the number 1 RBI leader in all of baseball. Really on track to win the MVP in the early half of the season. J.D. Martinez of the Red Sox. What team drafted J.D.?
Oh, man. He was a big name before he went to the Red Sox.
Yeah. He played in the NL West. I was actually at the what? I was actually at the game where JD hit 4 home runs against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Was with the Diamondbacks. And this next one, now he wasn't drafted because he's an international pick. What team originally signed this player? Fernando Tatis Jr.
Oh, wow.
Good question.
So I don't know if it's a trick question.
Could be, could not be.
Padres.
So, Mandy, how many do you think you got right?
2.
You got 1 correct out of all 5.
Wow.
Number 1.
I got JD correct.
No, you didn't. So Justin Turner originally drafted by the team he's playing, the Cincinnati Reds. We were talking about it yesterday in the broadcast. Justin Turner, he was drafted by the Cincinnati
Cincinnati Reds. Okay.
Yes, team he's playing against. Number 2, Trevor Bauer, originally drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks, actually. The one that you got correct, Giancarlo Stanton, originally drafted by the Marlins. Of course, won the NL MVP there. J.D. Martinez was actually originally drafted by the Houston Astros. Crazy story about J.D. Martinez there. Houston had a first baseman they really liked. Didn't like J.D. Martinez. I thought he probably would have done better in the NL in the AL as a DH and stuff, but that's where he's at now. And the next one, Fernando Tatis Jr. actually was originally signed on International Signing Day by the Chicago White Sox. Imagine the Chicago White Sox now with Fernando Tatis as shortstop. They would be unstoppable. So, yeah. Mandy, 1 for 5. I'm not going to say not bad, but because it was bad, so that was bad. 1 out of 5.
Whatever.
We'll see if I can fare better, though.
My cupcake question for you is real simple. All right. Give me, there is about, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There is, hold on, I lost count. Oh my God, my phone is acting up right now. This is what happens when you're not prepared and you have a Sam,
It's true.
doesn't go well.
That's why you got to get the dual screen action.
Yeah. Like 14 people tied. Okay, there's 14 people tied with 8 and 7 home runs in the major leagues. Give me 5 of the top 14 home run leaders in the major.
Oh, like
right now.
Currently.
Okay,
I'll go JD Martinez.
JD Martinez. Okay.
The Reds probably have like a couple. I'll go with Senzel for the Reds. I think he was up there.
Okay, Senzel.
That one dude from the Tigers, Castro. I think
Castro.
his name is.
Okay.
We'll go with, I guess, Mike Trout. He probably has 7 or 8.
Mike Trout. Okay.
Was that 3 or 4?
It's 4.
Okay, number 5. No Dodgers. They don't hit home runs. It's none of the Yankees because Giancarlo only has 6. He's the leader. Let's go with. Man, this is a good question. It's a good question. Finally, you asked a good question. Let's go with
Rapid fire.
Rizzo. Let's go with Rizzo. He's
Rizzo.
been
All right, good job, man. Well, you have how many do you think you got right?
I'm gonna say 2.
You got 1 right.
Ah! Tie.
You got 1 right, and you just got JD Martinez correct.
Damn.
You missed Tatis Jr. Hello.
Yeah, he had like 6 against the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. He has 7 total, and you missed Ohtani. Hello, he was all over the news. First, Babe Ruth to, well, at the moment he was leading the majors in home runs and became a starting pitcher.
Who cares? Who else?
Hoskins from Philadelphia has 8. He's actually in first place. He's the lead.
Ooh.
Nelson Cruz, Escobar from the Diamondbacks, Castellanos from the Reds, Wilson Contreras from the Cubs.
I was gonna say Contreras.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Buxton from Minnesota,
Yeah, Byron Buxton.
from Colorado, Reyes from the Indians.
Oh yeah, McCannon, right?
Yeah, and Acuna.
I was gonna say Acuna too. Dang it. So, not my best outing in rapid fire. So we both go 1 for 5, but we're both the wiser for it. Mandy, tell me what you saw this week that maybe not a lot of people paid attention to.
Man, well, besides being busy at work, being a flyer director and stuff, one thing I saw that, of course, you guys didn't see is the fact that in high school sports, we're starting to get fans back to see their kids play baseball. It's amazing to see,
It's a good feeling.
especially for baseball we're playing, there's fans. They're not sitting in the stands, but we're making accommodations where now we have in the outfield, we have the visiting fans. They come in with their lawn chairs and all that stuff. They have like a little picnic out there. We have our
Like literally.
left field sideline. Everyone brings their coolers. No alcohol, of course. But it's becoming more of a new thing now where I think people are liking. I talked with your parents. They're actually liking the new setup, like sitting out in this grass area, and to make it kind of like this picnic area where they can see their kids play, but at the same time be on the grass and have food, have drinks with other parents, have like a little buffet. It's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool to see this parents get together, and even though they're supposed to be socially distanced, they're not. But it's cool. I like it. Also, it keeps the parents away from the dugouts, right, and chirping away. They're way out there chirping away. So that's the best thing I've seen so far. Also, on a personal note, Cathedral Baseball is ranked number 80 in the States. This is the highest ranking they've ever been in their lives. They should be in
Their lives.
division. It's crazy. It's crazy. This baseball team is amazing. They beat their league rivals LaSalle yesterday in the first league opener. We're on pace to hopefully compete for league. So we'll see, baby. We're hyped right now.
Not bad. That's awesome to hear.
I'm sorry, and also I don't want to make fun of all my Bosco Tech fans out there. But you know the differences between Cathedral and Bosco Tech? Let me give an example. So, social media, okay? Cathedral, they post their soccer polls, right? Oh, everyone take a look. Cathedral's, they're ranked number 1 in Division 1. Yay. Cathedral basketball, oh look, we're ranked 12th in Division 2. Yay. Right? And we put this, we did look, clapping hands. Bosco Tech, now, everyone, stop the press. Bosco Tech in boys soccer in Division 7. the lowest division. They put on their page a big circle over Bosco tag, arrows, the eyes, I see you. They put all the sparkles, and guess what? They were ranked in the to be considered section in Division 7, and they blew up. It was amazing. I thought that was funny. I don't know.
It sounds like you're being a hater, but they're proud of. They let them be proud of what they want to be proud of.
You know what a hater is? All you little next level. Now, what's this show called? Next Man Up fans out there, stupid Raider fans. Look, you guys picked fucking what's his name? The quarterback Raiders.
Derek, I would much rather have Derek Carr than Matty Ice right
Carr
now. Are you kidding me?
That just proves to me that people follow to the IG are Raider fans. You knowledgeable people that pick Matty Ice, I applaud you.
It makes no sense.
The 54% that chose Derek Carr, I guarantee you, because they're all Raider fans. But that's cool. That's cool.
It makes no sense to pick Matty Ice over Derek Carr, where Matty Ice literally has done nothing but lose his whole career in the big moments, in the clutch moments. He's not clutch. He's not as good. He's had weapons all around him his whole career and done absolutely nothing. So, case in point, right now, Derek Carr's the better quarterback, and that's without saying. Matty Ice will probably be in the league another year, maybe 2. Derek Carr's better, no doubt in my mind. And you know what? Leave my Bosco boys alone, all right? We're not a sports school. It's just not like that. You know what I mean? If we were out there showing all the STEM stuff that we're doing, it would definitely outshine Cathedral, and it wouldn't be close. So stop it.
You're right. You're right. Hey, respect Bosco, as respect.
Big ups to Cathedral and their sports, but come on, when it comes to the STEM program and the way we educate them, it's just different. It's just different. But hey, no love. I mean, no disrespect. All love. We're all what, you guys are Salesians too, right? Or
whoa!
Well, friends are Jesuits.
We are proud LaSallian Christian brothers.
LaSallian Christians. So
thank you.
Salesians, LaSallians, we're all brothers. We're all cut from the same cloth. All cut from the same cloth. All cut from the same cloth. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, oratory model, all that good stuff. So what I saw, okay, Mandy, that maybe not a lot of people got a chance to see or were looking for. What I saw was this better in Vegas, okay? This last game with the Lakers and with Mavs. This guy did a same-game parlay, okay? I don't know if you know what that means, same-game parlay.
Yeah.
It means you multiple props, all that stuff from one game into one parlay bet. He turned $1,000, Mandy, into $709,000.
Wow.
That is just life-changing money. Way more money than a lot of people make in a year. More money than a lot of people make in several years. But it was just cool to see somebody get so lucky. And in my opinion, you know what? These people are time travelers, man. There's no way you can predict that many things. It's just blind luck and bet $1,000 and be confident.
That's one of my. Stuff. If I had to pick one attribute, super comic book attribute, I want time traveler.
Yeah.
To the future, bring back one of those sports almanacs and get paid. Back to the future, man. Hell yeah.
Shout out to Biff.
Yeah.
I would definitely do something like that. I might do, this is going to be really nerdy, okay? I might do super speed so that I can run back in time and go back, and then I'd actually also be fast. So I'd have 2 different things going for me there.
Fucking lame.
Yeah, took another step. That's what I do, okay? But make sure you tune in next week, the Next Man Up Sportscast. Make sure you're following us. Subscribe where you can subscribe. I know we had that tournament scheduled. We didn't get enough participation, so we're going to be moving that a couple weeks out. Hopefully, maybe switching the game, because I think that didn't pique everybody's interest. So we're going to maybe switch the game up. We'll get you some more information on that. But until next week, Church and Mandy say goodbye.